In the early 6th century BC, Jerusalem fell to Babylon. Its temple was burned. Its treasures were stripped away. Yet the most sacred object in the biblical story is missing from every surviving inventory. The Ark of the Covenant, a gold-covered chest said to have carried the covenant between God and Israel. No Babylonian king ever claimed it. No excavator has identified it. And for roughly 2,500 years, no one has been able to prove what became of it. Did it burn in the destruction of Jerusalem? Was it hidden before the city fell? Or could Ethiopia's most famous sacred claim be true, that the Ark still rests in a guarded chapel, unseen by the outside world? First, a crucial distinction. The Ark is known from religious texts, above all the Hebrew Bible. There is no independently identified artifact that archaeologists can point to and say, this is it. What follows is its story as those texts tell it, and what history can and cannot test. In Exodus, Moses receives precise instructions for a portable chest, acacia wood, overlaid inside and out with gold. 4 rings held carrying poles so it could be moved without being touched directly. Its lid was crowned by 2 winged cherubim facing one another. This cover was called the mercy seat, imagined in biblical tradition as the place where God's presence met Israel. The Ark's contents are described differently in different texts.
Exodus and Deuteronomy center the stone tablets of the covenant. A later Christian text, Hebrews, also names a jar of manna and Aaron's staff. But when the Ark is placed in Solomon's temple, 1 Kings says it contained only the tablets. That difference matters. Even the ancient tradition is not a single uniform inventory. In the biblical narrative, the Ark is not decoration. Priests carry it across the Jordan. It leads Israel's procession around Jericho. In another story, Uzzah reaches out to steady it and dies, an episode that dramatizes its dangerous holiness. Only designated Levites were meant to carry it, using the poles through those side rings. According to 1 Kings, Solomon placed the Ark in the innermost chamber of his new temple, the Holy of Holies. The high priest entered that sacred space only on the Day of Atonement. For generations, the Ark stood at the center of Israel's religious imagination. Then its trail goes silent. The final crisis came when Judah rebelled against the Babylonian Empire. Nebuchadnezzar II besieged Jerusalem. After a long siege, the city was captured and the first temple destroyed, usually dated to 587 or 586 BC, depending on the chronology used. Biblical accounts describe the catastrophe in brutal detail. The temple burned, Jerusalem's walls broken, leading citizens deported to Babylon.
They also list temple objects carried away or broken down for their metal: basins, lampstands, bowls, bronze pillars, and more. But the Ark is not named among them. That absence is the core of the mystery. It is not proof that the Ark survived. Ancient records are incomplete, and a wooden object covered in valuable gold could have been dismantled, melted, or destroyed without a separate surviving notice. Still, if the Ark was as central as the texts portray it, its disappearance from the record is striking. Its last clear appearance in the Hebrew Bible comes before the destruction, during the reign of King Josiah. By the time the temple is rebuilt after the Babylonian exile, the new Holy of Holies has no Ark. Jewish writings from later centuries preserve several competing explanations. That tells us something important. People close enough to care deeply about the question were already trying to explain the silence. The simplest historical answer is also the least cinematic. The Ark may have been destroyed during Babylon's assault or taken apart as loot, with its fate never separately recorded. This is the explanation many historians would regard as the most economical, not because there was a document proving it, but because destruction, plunder, and lost records are common outcomes of war.
A very different account appears in 2nd Maccabees, a Jewish work written centuries after Jerusalem fell.
It says the prophet Jeremiah, acting on a divine message, took the ark, the tent, and the altar of incense to a cave on the mountain from which Moses saw the promised land, traditionally identified as Mount Nebo in present-day Jordan. He sealed the entrance and declared that the place would remain unknown until God chose to reveal it. It is a powerful story, but it is not an eyewitness report from 587 BC, and no ark has been found on Mount Nebo. The text gives us evidence of a later tradition of concealment, not verifiable evidence that Jeremiah completed the journey. The most famous living claim comes from Ethiopia. The Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church holds that the true ark is in Aksum at the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion. Tradition says it is kept in a chapel under the care of a single guardian monk, appointed for life. The story is tied to the Kebra Nagast, or Glory of the Kings, a medieval Ethiopian national and religious epic. In it, Menelik I, the son of Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, travels to Jerusalem. The ark ultimately goes with him to Ethiopia, while a substitute is left behind. The exact mechanics differ in retellings. The claim is unmistakable. This tradition is far more than a treasure story. Across Ethiopia, Orthodox churches keep a sacred tablet, a consecrated tablet or representation associated with the ark and the tablets of the law. During Timkat celebrations, tablets are carried in procession. The ark tradition is woven into worship, identity, and sacred geography, but historical verification stops at the chapel door. The alleged ark is not displayed or available for independent inspection, dating, or material testing. The Kebra Nagast was compiled long after the era of Solomon and offers no archaeological chain of custody from Jerusalem to Aksum. For believers, that does not settle the matter. For historians, it means the claim remains a matter of faith and tradition, not confirmed evidence. A third tradition says the ark never left Jerusalem. It was concealed in or beneath the temple precinct before the Babylonians arrived. Later rabbinic writings preserve several views. Some place the ark in a hidden chamber. Others say it went to Babylon. Still others suggest it had already disappeared. The idea of a deliberately prepared hiding place beneath the Temple Mount became one of the most enduring versions of the mystery. There are indeed underground spaces, cisterns, tunnels, and built layers in and around ancient Jerusalem. But that fact is not evidence that the ark is in one of them. The Temple Mount, known to Muslims as Haram al-Sharif, is sacred to Judaism and Islam, and is among the most politically and religiously sensitive archaeological landscapes in the world. Excavation there is severely restricted. So this theory has a paradox at its center. It is difficult to test precisely because the site is so important.
Remote sensing may someday map more of what lies below or around the platform, but a hidden chamber would not automatically mean a hidden ark, and no confirmed archaeological evidence has linked any subterranean space to it. Archaeology does not prove that the ark never existed. Archaeology is rarely able to prove a negative, especially for a portable object described in texts written and edited across centuries. What it can say is narrower. No artifact has been authenticated as the ark. No contemporary Babylonian record known to scholars identifies its capture, and no verified excavation has produced evidence for its survival in Jordan, Ethiopia, or beneath Jerusalem. There is another possibility worth holding in view. The ark's story may preserve memory, theology, political symbolism, or some combination of all three. Sacred objects can be historically real and also accumulate meanings far larger than the objects themselves. The ark, whether recoverable or not, became the ultimate symbol of divine presence, covenant, loss, and hope. So what actually happened to it? The honest answer is that we do not know. It may have been destroyed in 587 or 586 BC. It may have been hidden, then lost. it may survive only